Good afternoon, VC. Dave here. Going to be going through a lot of records I have on the BCore label out of Barcelona, Spain today, and highlighting the label. Just all kinds of amazing artists on this label. A lot of their catalog is on CD. The label started in 1990 by Jordi Lansama. Inspired by 80s punk and rock. I really think Fugazi played a show over there, and it just spread like wildfire throughout the city and the area, and all these bands just came about because of it. I actually have the show in reference. It was at the KGB in Barcelona in 1990. One of their live series. In any case, I'll show what records I do have on the label. It's not a whole lot, but like I said, most of it's on CD, but there's a lot of great bands here to discover, and I'm going to try to put some links, figure out how to do that below, to some YouTube clips and videos and whatnot. So we got to go into the story of how I discovered the label. It was probably about 6-7 years ago or so. Went to my local record shop lunchbox late in the evening. They're probably getting ready to close in 30 minutes or so, but the owner, Scott, was playing this band in the store, Shanty Road, and this is the CD. This is from, I believe, 2002. It's called Finally. And I never heard anything like it, and it was badass. And I asked him, hey, so what are you playing here? And he's kind of a nonchalant type of guy. He's like, oh, it's Shanty Road. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, it's from Barcelona. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Like, do you have this? He's like, yeah, I got it. It's over here. And it was like maybe $8 or something. I was like, okay, awesome. I will be getting that. And do you have anything else on this label? He's like, yeah, I got some stuff. So went home, did some research, and found the BCore site, and my friend Joe and I just started kind of going through, what bands, and started to realize, okay, this label's been around quite a while. A lot of good stuff on here, a lot of different things. So we dove right in, and I ended up getting in touch with the label, started putting in some orders. Of course, it's expensive to get stuff shipped from Barcelona, but we put in some large orders right off the top. And Albert, who runs their shipping, is awesome and always put in a ton of extras for free, posters, gig posters. It's just some extra free CDs of other bands that we hadn't checked out yet, so it was really great to get that stuff. So I'm going to jump into the records here, and then talk a little bit about my trip over there, which was probably the most amazing trip of my life. Got to meet a lot of people over there involved with the label. So with records, the first one we have is a 10-inch. This is a split between Nuevo Volcano and the Life and Times, who were from KC, are now out of Chicago. Great band, I'm sure a lot of you know about them. They toured together over here, and this is that split. This is really good. And this band is called Iena, and this record is called Sevens. This is from the 90s, 96. This is one of the earlier bands on the label. Artur Estrada's in this band. He sings, plays guitar, and he's also in a band in Nuevo Volcano now. Really, really great. Pretty straight ahead rock right here. Another Iena record by Partite. Another great Iena record. Those are the guys on the front. Next band is Beatunizer, and they've got probably 4 or 5 records out. This one's my favorite, Grand Vita. And most all this stuff I've just got a ton on CD, but I was happy to finally start getting some of their records. These guys, I believe, are out of Valencia, and their lead singer, does a lot of projects. He's in a solo project, Segunda Persona. He also plays in a band called Quelo, who I got to see in Spain, who are absolutely badass. It's a little more punk. Just this group right here, though, is, I don't even know how to describe them. This is really intense stuff, really great. The bass on this is unbelievable. Highly recommend checking Beatunizer out. Next band is a 2-piece. These guys are pretty well inspired by Nuevo Volcano sound. This is Calavento. This is their first release on BCore, and this is really good stuff, really good rock, 2-piece. And this is their newest record, Fruto Panorama. This is very similar to the first record. And then we do have Quelo, who I mentioned here, and this is their first record on BCore. And this is their second record on BCore. And I got this in Barcelona at the show, and they've recently just put out a new record as well, so I'm going to be checking that out. Next group is called A, and this is one of 3 of their records. I only have this one on vinyl. This is El Sobresalto Alpha, excuse me, and this is a little bit jazzy, some electronic. This is very different stuff. This is really cool stuff. Definitely check out A. Next record is from Encano, one of the earlier rock groups on this label. This is a really good record also. And they went quite a few years without putting out a record, but they just released this one. This is kind of a dual release on BCore and on Viora Discos, another great label from Spain. I've got some of the stuff from that label actually on cassette, which is really cool. The next group is Familia Miranda, which these guys, I believe, were from South America, maybe Chile, and then had moved to Barcelona, I believe, and they have a lot of records. This is their newest one, Radio Farm. This is really good. Some of their earlier stuff I'm not quite into, but my friend Joe, he loves all their stuff. He's got all their other records, so he recommends them. Next record is one of the newer releases on BCore from a band called Giganto. This is pretty heavy stuff. If you're into the heavier end of the rock, this is Latigo Canta. This is pretty badass. I really love the cover on this. Next record is another 2-piece. These guys are really heavy. This is Grouse. This came out during their BCore's 25th anniversary time period, so it's got the stamp on the back, 25th anniversary. Next group is one of the groups that Eric Fuentes is in. He's done some solo stuff. He's got a triple CD that's unbelievable. with all the musicians from Spain are on it with him. That are amazing, and geez, he was in a band. Oh, what is it? God, can't remember right now, but he's also in It's Not Not, and I've got a few of their records, and this is really upbeat type stuff. Very, very good. And this is their record, It's Not Not, Bound for the Shine. This is excellent also. And their newest record has a really awesome cover, Fool the Wise. And I've got two versions of this. One's got a limited silk screen. I believe that's, yeah, this one right here. Next group is Medi, and this is Ramon Rodriguez before he started the group The New Ramon. This is really good stuff. Really amazing band. A little bit mellower stuff. And this is number 2 of 100 that were made for Record Store Day of this Medi album. Ramon actually has number 1. So it was an honor for me to get the second of the 100. Those guys really hooked me up at the label. This is an amazing, amazing record. The next is Orion's Belt. This is probably the best Medi album that was made. This is a masterpiece. Highly recommend this one. Next record is from the lead singer, lead guitar of Stand Still, Enrique Montefusco. This is Miradania, and this is really amazing stuff. It's more Spanish folk style, but still has that Stand Still type sound because of Enrique. This is awesome. I got to see Stand Still in Barcelona at Primavera Sound, front row center. Unbelievable performance. Next group is Mourn. This is on a label here out of Brooklyn, actually, Captured Tracks, and this is the two daughters of Ramon from The New Ramon and Medi. They're still young, and they're putting out some great stuff. They've toured the U.S. a couple of times. I missed them when they just came because of one of the hurricanes. I couldn't get down to Atlanta to see them, which was a shame, but what are you going to do? It's a hurricane. And yeah, I got all the Mourn stuff, and their drummer is pretty awesome too, and he plays in a band called Gyoza, drums for them, and they are also great. This is Mourn's newest record. This is Ha Ha He, and it's different from the first Mourn record, certainly, but also recommended. Next, I've got some of the New Ramon records. This one also a Record Store Day issue in Spain, and I have number 5 of 100. This is O Rampahilos. This is a masterpiece from Ramon. This is an unbelievable record. If you get any of the records that I'm showing today, this is the one to get. And this was this was an EP, 1 of 200 from the New Ramon. Pretty much the B-sides, I believe, to O Rampahilos. And this is also really good stuff. And then I've got the New Ramon's newest release that Ramon did with McEnroe. They both sing, play guitar. This is a wonderful album. Really, really well recorded. Excellent record. One of the next record is from a group Nisi. This one is Continents. My favorite Nisi record is called More Light, and it's on CD only. This is extremely different from that other record. The More Light is a more rocking album. This is a little different, but it's still great. Really cool cover too. Next band is that I'm going to show is No More Lies. Probably one of my favorites on the label. Santi Garcia's lead singer, lead guitar of this group. He is a producer in Spain, and he runs a studio, Altamarinos, Costa Brava, and he pretty much does all the recording. He's pretty much the Rudy Van Gelder in Spain, and everything he does is badass. His band is badass, and I was able to make a connection with him, and I knew they were going to be playing one of the gigs for Primavera Sound in 2014, and he said, come on over and we'll get you in. And so the time came, and we were able to make a trip, a few of my friends, to Barcelona, and we were staying in Premià de Mar, which is probably 30 minutes by train outside of the city, maybe a little farther. Kind of a quiet retirement area. And the three of us had gotten out there, my friend Rob, myself, and my friend Jeff. The day before, one of Jeff's friends was going to meet us there. He had a flight the next day. And his name was Mike, and I'd never met Mike before. And but Mike had heard about, you know, my love of the label and the fact that I was going to be able to go to the BCore store and try to meet Albert. Basically, my mission was to meet Albert, who had been sending me all this great stuff. And you know, we were going to be there for a couple of weeks, so it's, you know, we got all kinds of time to go and do that. That's my thing. You know, I'm not trying to put that on all the other guys, but he walks up after his flight, and we'd already had a day in Spain, and, you know, we were like, well, we want to do what you want to do, Mike. And Mike says, no, we need to go to the BCore store. And so we went, and we got there late in the afternoon, walked in. Eric Fuentes is working the counter, so I'm already stoked that I'm gonna meeting him. And I look in the back, and there stands Santi Garcia, Artur Estrada from Nuevo Volcano, and the owner, Jordy. And I think one of Artur's sons was back there, and I'm just blown away. So I'm like, hey Eric, go tell Santi that Dave's here from the States. And, you know, I didn't know Santi was going to be at the store at like 5 in the afternoon that day. And I'm the only customer in the store, so you know, and it's a real small shop, and I'm just blown away. And he comes out, gives me a hug, and you know, we're talking about the upcoming show and everything, and then I got to meet Artur from Nuevo Volcano. Is just amazing. And the only thing was Albert was not there, so I said, well, I will be back tomorrow to meet Albert. And I did go back tomorrow and meet Albert, and then they had their setup at Primavera Sound on the following Thursday, and all that. But so it's just amazing coincidence. And Santi said he only comes because his studio is way outside of Barcelona. But anyway, you know, it just was random that he was there. He's like, I come here maybe once or twice a year, so to the store. And so that's that. And these are some of the No More Lies records. This one's Seeds of Enthusiasm. Originally issued on CD, of course. This is really, really raw, kick-ass, high-energy stuff. This is their second record right here. And then their most recent record, In the Shade of Expectation. And this is really great on BCore. Next records are all Nuevo Volcano. This one's Principal Primera. This is Artur's band. This is Fuego and Tropico, and I was actually able to get this one here in my local shop, one of the ones that Scott had. Also was able to get this one here too, Los Peces de Colores. This was their, I believe, their third full release, and their most recent is Novelaria, and this has got some really great songs on it. This is awesome. Robin Draneth is a really cool song. Some of the lyrics make reference to Daniel Higgs from Lungfish, which was really cool. And of course, next is Stand Still. Absolutely amazing group. This one's The Tide, and this band really changed a lot over the years. They started out sounding like an American hardcore band, which is basically this album right here, Tide. And also this is also another hardcore record from them, The Ionic Spell. And they were singing in English and then changed to Catalan later on. Memories Collector is, I believe, still in English. This is on Defiance out of Germany. Some of these standstill records are pretty rare, pretty hard to get a hold of. This is one of them. This is badass. Dead Man Picture, Memories Collector, just great songs on this. And then this album, the self-titles, when they went back to singing in Catalan, also on Defiance. And then Viva La Guerra, which is one of my favorites of theirs. This is badass. And then they put out a live record, Estaría Muy Bien, and this is unbelievable. And there's a DVD with this, so I highly recommend getting this. This is one of their last shows, and you can just see what this band meant to that city. And then we have one group here from Madrid, Tundra. They remind me a lot of Pelican out of Chicago. Instrumental, real heavy, very dynamic, just really great band. This is one of their records. I believe this is number 2. They're pretty much numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 so far are out, and they're working on their 5th record now. And then I've got my last record is on BCore Vista Alegre, which was one of the side bands from Santi Garcia from No More Lies. It's real similar to their stuff. Really great. So that's pretty much everything I currently have. I got a lot more to get on the BCore label. I highly recommend all of this stuff. Check it out whenever you get a chance. I'm going to try to put some links below. If you can get over to Spain, Primavera Sound is a really great concert to go to. Very diverse on the type of music they have to offer. Sorry for this one being long. It's long overdue though. Have a great one, BC.